The palace was silent tonight, but his heart was not. Sheikh Hamdan stood by the vast window of his chamber, staring into the emptiness of the Dubai skyline that once shimmered with dreams they built together. The lights no longer looked golden. They looked like memories, flickering, fading, and painfully real. "I let her go," he whispered, his voice trembling like a confession to the moon. Every word carried the weight of regret. Every breath reminded him of what he had lost. This was not just a love story that ended, it was a part of his soul that walked away with her. He had always believed strength meant holding on, but tonight he learned that sometimes strength means letting go. She was not just someone he loved, she was the reflection of his own gentleness, the calm within his chaos, the muse behind every verse he ever wrote. Her laughter once filled his palace like prayer bells, her silence spoke louder than words, and her presence was enough to make every desert bloom. But when love began to hurt her, he chose pain over possession. "Better she be free and happy than bound by my love," he told himself, though his heart screamed otherwise. Every corner of his home reminded him of her. The balcony where she read his poems, the garden where she chased sunsets, the couch where she fell asleep waiting for him to return from his royal duties. He walked through those halls tonight not as a prince, but as a man broken by his own decisions. The guards saw the same graceful Sheikh they always did, but inside, he was bleeding silently. The poet in him had no words left, only tears that refused to fall. He remembered the last time she looked at him. Her eyes were not angry, they were tired. Tired of waiting, tired of the unspoken distance that had grown between them. "You love your world," she said softly, "and I love you, but I cannot live as a shadow in it." He wanted to ask her to stay, to fight, to give them one more chance, but his pride, his responsibilities, and his crown held his tongue captive. So, he simply nodded, watching her leave, carrying with her the part of him that would never heal. Nights turned into months, but the emptiness never faded. He tried to fill it with words, with travel, with the roar of the world that loved him. But none of it compared to the stillness she brought when she was beside him. He scrolled through old photos and found himself smiling through tears at moments too beautiful to forget. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when shy, the way she whispered his name like a secret only the stars should hear. Those memories refused to die, even when he wished they would. "I let her go," he repeated to himself again tonight, as though saying it would ease the ache. But each repetition felt like reopening a wound that refused to close. He realized that love doesn't always end in anger or betrayal, sometimes, it ends in quiet sacrifice. He had to let her go so she could find the peace that his world, with all its glory, could not give her. But the irony was cruel, she found peace, and he lost his. When the world saw him smile in public, they never saw the sorrow hiding behind it. He had mastered the art of appearing whole while shattered inside. His poetry became his confession, each verse dipped in longing, each rhyme whispering her name. People said his words were deeper now, more emotional, but if only they knew the cost of that depth. Every line he wrote was carved from a broken piece of his heart. Sometimes, he still dreams of her. In those dreams, she comes back, not as the woman who left, but as the one who once believed in forever. They sit under the palm trees, watching the horizon, and she laughs the way she used to. But before he can reach for her hand, the dawn breaks, and reality steals her away again. Those mornings are the hardest, when he wakes up with tears on his pillow and her name on his lips. If he could turn back time, he would hold her longer, speak softer, love louder. He would choose her over every royal duty, over every public image, over every silent expectation that forced him to be strong. But time is merciless, it only moves forward, leaving him trapped between what was and what could have been. So, he carries her in his silence, in the poetry he never publishes, in the smile he forces before his people. And tonight, as he stands beneath the moonlight, Sheikh Hamdan makes his most emotional confession ever. Not to the world, but to himself. I let her go, he whispers, voice breaking under the weight of truth. But she will always be the poem I never finished. The desert wind carries his words away, but his heart knows they will echo forever, in the spaces where her love once lived.
The night was quiet, painted in silver light, and Fazza sat by his window with the moon reflecting in his eyes. His thoughts drifted to the one person who gave meaning to everything he did, his heart, his life, his reason for every smile. No matter how far she was, no matter how much time had passed, her presence still lived in every corner of his soul. I will always love my heart, my life, my reason for smile, he whispered softly, as if the wind might carry his confession to her. For love like his was not born to fade, it was written to last beyond time, beyond distance, beyond words. He remembered the first time her laughter reached him. It wasn't just a sound, it was light breaking through his darkness. She became the rhythm of his poems, the peace in his chaos, the reason he woke up with hope each morning. When the world weighed heavily on his shoulders, it was her voice that reminded him of who he truly was. Every smile he gave to his people, every verse he wrote for his fans, carried a trace of her. She was not just someone he loved, she was a part of him, stitched into the fabric of his existence. There were days when silence filled the air between them, when distance or fate tested their bond. But even then, his heart never wavered. He didn't need to see her to love her, he only needed to remember her. Because real love doesn't live in sight, it lives in soul. He could feel her presence in his heartbeat, in his breath, in the quiet strength that carried him through the loneliest nights. You are my heart, he wrote once, and no matter where life takes us, I will always love you in every sunrise, in every poem, in every prayer. He knew that love like theirs didn't belong to a single lifetime, it was something eternal, something written before they even met. When he thought of her, he didn't just see a person. He saw destiny, grace, and devotion. She had taught him that love isn't about owning someone, it's about honoring them. It's about loving them in silence, in distance, in time, and even in absence. That's why his love remained unshaken. No matter where the world turned, his heart would always turn back toward her. She was his compass, his constant, his forever. Fazza often said that some people bring peace without even trying, and she was exactly that. Her presence was soft yet powerful, like calm waves against the shore. She made him believe that no matter how hard life became, love could still be kind. She reminded him that smiles are born not from perfection, but from shared hearts. That's why every poem he wrote, no matter how sad or hopeful, carried her reflection.